Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope your week is going good so far. So, this week's podcast is with a good mate of mine called Lucaz Zaglul. I am awful at pronouncing his last name, so I apologize, dude, if I've got it wrong. But how you spell it is Zaglul. Don't have a clue how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, man. I even asked you on the show. But yeah, Lucas is one of the Link Miami Rebels team in Miami, which, if you don't know, they run Club Space in Miami, which is hands down the best club in North America. We talked a lot about clubbing and just life. It was a really good catch up. Hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, Lucaz Zaglul. And we're live. Lucas, how's it going, mate?
Hey, brother, yourself?
Good, man. I haven't spoke to you for ages.
It's been a long time. I know. I feel so distant from everybody after all this happened, you know?
I know, right?
Weird.
It's wild. It's kind of like we were all obviously, well, especially you guys at Space, like you guys were prepping for Miami WMCs or the Miami Music Week, and then literally like it just got taken from under your feet.
Last minute as well, too. we were fully prepped for Miami Music Week. It was by far the biggest week we were gonna handle in our lifetime since we started, since we started throwing parties and doing our thing.
Yeah.
What was like 12 years ago? This was gonna be the biggest thing. We had 3 big venues ready. It was our first time doing a full week of outdoor events as well as Space.
Yeah.
So we were taking out a pool venue, we were taking out a beach club, and we were taking on Space with the Ground and Floyd. So it was gonna be a really big activation. And we for probably like till 2 weeks before that, we thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Because Miami was. I feel like everybody here was just like, no, nothing's going on in the world. We're gonna still do our thing.
Denial. That's what that's called, mate. Yeah, it's it's wild, man. It's well, life goes on. I guess we just got to keep soldiering on.
I mean, you probably had a massive year of touring ahead of you too.
I was actually really lucky because I did the open to close tour January to March. So I actually only had like one show cancelled from that tour because of Rona. So I did like a good chunk of touring when not many people usually tour.
Yeah, because everybody waits for like after the conference and all that.
Yeah.
For the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky. However,
decompression.
Say that again.
The decompression.
Yeah. Now it's just like, yeah.
Now it's
nothing. Nothing. The internet. Sorry to anybody that's listening. The internet's pretty bad on both ends. I think it's my end, to be fair. Yeah. So whenever you talk, or I talk over you, it doesn't get both of them for some reason. I don't know what it is, but
like a light pause.
Yeah, it should be like an Elon Musk pause. Do you know what?
Okay.
Do you know what Elon? Have you ever listened to the Elon Musk, mate? So when Joe Rogan interviews Elon Musk, Joe will like ask a question and then like it will be like silence. It'll be like, oh, and then he answers, and you're like, it's weird.
I thought he was just very blasted on that episode.
No, he did it on the second one as well, and you're just like you can almost hear his like brain moving, and you're like, are you gonna talk? But yeah, let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about the background of you, and kind of how you kind of got to where you're at in space, and obviously for people that don't know what you do at space, kind of talk about a little bit of that, and then we'll just go on tangents. I want to talk about your Muay Thai as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how did it all start? How did you guys get to the point at space?
It's a fun story. Space wasn't even in our path, in our dreams. It was like way beyond our dreams. It started off, I moved here from Dominican Republic to Miami.
Yeah.
15. So I did my last 2 years of high school here.
Cool.
And pretty miserable, you know. A Dominican kid, first time in Miami, and I was like very depressed at that point.
Could you speak English?
I did speak English, thankfully, because my mother signed me up in Dominican Republic in an American school.
Yeah.
I had the base, at least. Then I got into FIU, Florida International University, here located in Miami. And I decided, you know, Dominican kid, just looking at like all these fraternity movies and all that, all the American pies, I decided to join a fraternity. And summer of 06, I was still 17 and I had already gotten into college.
Yeah.
I joined this fraternity and turned out to be that the guy that was like overseeing my pledging, like my big brother, was Coloma.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So it's a fully fraternity-based endeavor.
I didn't know. I wouldn't ever put you and Colomo as frat boys.
Imagine. It was a very eclectic fraternity. It's like all ways of life and very different people all together. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was like a brotherhood. So it was nice to have, especially moving to a country that you didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And it was funny because the semester after me, Ricky Thunder Pony, one of the resident space, joined the fraternity as well. And in that same year, Jay, which is one of our main guys, he oversees the entire door of space. He oversees all the promoters and stuff. He also joined the fraternity. So we started just throwing parties. We rented this rinky-dinky house in front of the campus, and we all moved in together. And we were just throwing, you know, ragers, kegs in our kitchen lined up.
Literally American Pie.
Literally American Pie. You know, we were just trying to recreate that American dream. Yeah. And we started throwing parties just to raise money for our fees and to basically survive the miserable college experience of America.
Yeah.
You're not learning anything. No. So why? Yeah. So then we realized that we enjoyed partying and we enjoyed planning parties, and we were actually pretty good at it. And Ricky would DJ Thunder Pony, and he would DJ like all sorts of things. It was so funny because he's like so far advanced now because he could never play any of this back in the days. So we would have to tell him to like throw some hip hop in there. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. Then we decided to rent out yellow school buses. And we rented these yellow school buses out. They were very cheap here in Miami. And we'd just pull up to the dorms of the campus and rile up a crew and take them clubbing. That's so we amazing. Would all go clubbing, fake IDs in hand, just hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And then we finally found a venue near FIU. Yeah. And that's where we started our first nights. It was called Cove Love.
Okay.
That's where we took on our first night ever as promoters and fully running a party.
Nice.
For an actual club owner. And we were doing every Thursdays. I was bartending. Coloma was at the door. Thunder Pony was in the decks. And Jay was also at the door. And we just had like open bars till midnight. Everybody was obliterated by then. It was a very fun night. And that's how we met a few of the other guys from our team. Yeah. That's when Mata would come and visit. They're like, oh, there's something going on out there, but this venue was very far out from downtown Miami.
Yeah.
Like a 40-minute drive. So these people came because they heard that we were doing something different to what Miami was exposed to at the time. So we were playing like good house music, good techno in the backyard. And we were teaching all these kids our age that had no idea what this music was back in Miami, because all they were hearing was top 40 in the radio. So we were teaching this like entire different side of Miami how to listen to proper music, and having tons of fun while we're at it. Davide, that's where Davide came out, and he visited there once, and we all got to know each other, and we got to know the downtown, what was moving, because at that time, Davide used to throw the techno loft in Space.
Okay.
He was the main promoter at the techno loft in Space, and Ms. Mara and Hardline and Danielino were the residents.
Okay.
And we were finally able to, we started going to the Electric Pickle.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the Electric Pickle here, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope.
Electric Pickle in Miami, maybe.
So we started going to the Electric Pickle, and we met Imbal, which runs her own, you know, Imbal. She runs a Prisma Artist.
Yep.
But she used to be the head promoter and booker for the Pickle. And we would go on Fridays, and Colom and I started just taking a group of all these Western kids from Miami, bringing them into that scene. And we were having so much fun there, man. It was intense.
There's something amazing about the starting days of your career, right? That it just, for me, it's like my Ibiza days when I used to live in Ibiza, and you're just like, everything about it when you look back at it, although at the time you're probably like, it's probably like super stressful sometimes, but then you look back and you're like, those are the best times of my life.
But it wasn't, not even, because I feel like it's more stressful now because there's so much more going on, you know?
100%.
It's like, oh, let's jump on this random, super sketchy yellow school bus. Let's pack it with kids our age. We were like 18, 19, 20. Let's pack it with kids and just try to get into a random club.
Yeah.
Just drive the bus to South Beach and find out which club would just allow us in. And we're just like all stumbling down. So I feel like it was a bit easy those days. But yeah, it was the struggle. You know, we're eating ramen noodles at home and sometimes eating Taco Bell.
There's still not really good ramen in Miami as well.
No, I'm talking about like.
Yeah, I know you're. Well, but I'm like you still can't get you still can't get good ramen in Miami as well, which annoys me.
Very weird. Hopefully that changes soon.
I know, right? So from your school days when you were in the frat, you then where did the space, was that Davido like turning into Space and then it linked Miami?
No, we did the Electric Pickle promoting there, and David at that point was doing Treehouse.
Okay.
David had on Treehouse, and he was the main booker and promoter there. Yeah. And we were doing Pickle Fridays just as promoters. And then we decided to start visiting David at Treehouse, and we all vibed amazingly together. And we realized it would be a really cool thing to just join forces. So we switched over to Treehouse with Davide, and basically we were Miami Rebels. Davide was Link Miami. So that's where the whole Link Miami Rebels comes in.
I didn't know that.
Use their names, so we just added all three.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now it's Link Miami Rebels.
Yeah.
And Treehouse for 3 years. We got Treehouse into the top 100 in the world.
Yeah.
We were at it. Treehouse before that was a salsa club.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Where Davide started their Fridays and Saturdays programming, it was full salsa.
Did you used to go down there?
Yeah, that was too far. South Beach was another world.
Yeah. So then from
we went to trade.
Oh yeah.
We went to trade.
That's when I first met you.
That's when we first met. Yeah.
Yeah.
So trades were amazing.
Yeah, that was
dark, grungy room fit like 800 people, slammed, like
Unreal.
face, COVID free.
I never forget that. It was WMCs and it was the Dirtybird party, and it was the first time I played a like bigger party at WMCs.
Dirtybird players that we did,
Yeah.
and we were using Snapchat still, and we had the
Yeah.
Dirtybird filter on
Filter on
Snapchat,
Snapchat. Yeah.
palm trees and
Yeah.
everything.
That was it. And it was rammed. I think it was like the busiest night you guys did there. And
Was yeah.
it was like the DJ booths are always slammed. And that was just like you couldn't even get through.
The thing about that place is that the DJ booth itself was like a mini club because it could fit a nice amount of people.
Yeah.
It was like a whole new world in there. And Dirtybird for 3 years of Miami Music Week was our biggest parties.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was an amazing party.
It was fantastic.
Well, I think it's also the clientele that go to the Dirtybird parties is just so different to a lot of other parties.
Yeah, it feels like everybody feels happier.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how to say it. Everybody has like that like energy of like joy and just like loves to be there. A lot of the Dirtybirders in Florida come from the north.
Yeah.
They drive down hours and hours to get to these parties. So you feel that. You know?
I think also it's like a bit of a younger crowd.
It's much younger, yeah.
And I think with that you get a lot less like people not judging, but like people just want to go and have fun. They're like that's all they're going for, just to party. They don't care about being in VIP. They don't care about anything. They just want to rave and get sweaty. It's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's like we never had any like sort of VIP at Trade. The tables were part of the crowd, but still like everybody was just like mushed into these things. Because you have like a person that is not even with the table and they're just standing on the table and it's fine.
I loved it. Oh, that was good. So you had Trade for 3 years and then went to Space.
And we also did Story at the same time.
Yeah.
The Underground Story. And that was a Friday and then Trade on Saturdays. And then after we finally got Space.
Yeah.
It was Art Basel of 2017.
Yeah.
16.
And you've been smashing it since.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Hands down is the best club, man.
I've never partied that much in my life. The party, we were just like, you end up 5 or 6. Maybe you go to a little after party to like 9 a.m. Some days, it's not even always. But now here it's just like marathon after marathon. It's incredible.
Yeah, you guys have stamina, and it's the only club in the whole of the USA that can kind of just keep going and going and going.
Well, 11th Street in Miami has it's a grandfather liquor license.
Yeah.
They did this thing ages ago when they were trying to bring business into the area, which is the downtown. There was nothing there. It was just like
it's hood.
Yeah, hood.
Yeah.
And did this license, but the license never expired. So we just like grandfathered into it. And now the only ones that have it is us and 11.
It's amazing.
11th Street. 11. 11.
Yeah.
It's across the street. And they're actually open always.
They're always going. I've never seen them closed.
They never closed. They closed once for the hurricane. Like, okay, there's a hurricane coming. We're going to shut down 6 hours.
Strippers got to make that money. That's what it is. I've still never been in 11 though.
No, well, it's open 24/7, but it's not like there's a massive raver going on.
Yeah.
Just like sometimes it's awkward to be in there. 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, like having some chicken wings. The lemon pepper wings are amazing.
Are they? Yeah, I need to go there. We'll go there next time. After we play, we'll go.
Maybe a shot of mezcal.
So you started Space and pretty much turned it into the best club in America.
I hope so, right?
Dude, it's literally the best club in America. But what is the process? Because obviously going from trade to space, there's still a huge jump in like capacities, in responsibilities, and things like that.
Gigantic. It was the first time that we had full control over a venue.
Yeah,
You know, we had the marketing, we had to run everything. We had to deal with bartenders, servers, cleaning, AC, everything. We're basically tenants
yeah,
for the first time. We've never done that before. We were just like head promoters.
yeah.
I brought ideas, and a lot of our ideas would get shut down, and we had to like there's too much red tape. So I feel like you can definitely feel that now we can do what we really want to do.
Yeah,
We come into space because it's like all our ideas can actually like flourish over there because we can just do it.
yeah.
We don't have to go through the steps, and we don't have to ask for permission.
No,
That's it.
I think you can tell that there's only a handful of clubs in the world, I would say, that is like ran and owned by the same people, if that makes sense, and kind of has the like there's nobody at the top saying yes or no. It's literally like a team, and everyone's goal is the same thing. And I think you can really tell that when that is the case. It just feels so, just walking in the door, like as a performer or even as a customer, it just, there's just a feel about it that just feels like it's like a family kind of vibe. People are super nice. It's just like, it's just an atmosphere that I think it just sets.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when I go to other clubs, sometimes I don't think about those things.
Yeah,
Like who's like doing this and that, maybe because I already know who's where.
yeah,
But I feel you. Yeah, as a guest, people notice it. Every time they come to space, it's like, wow, you most of these people work full-time jobs during the week,
yeah,
and they're just looking for that Saturday night. And when they come in, it's like, open arms, just everybody's family if you're behaving at
yeah.
first.
If you're a nice
You can
person.
go wild in the morning. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference. And it makes a difference for us because now we're not really like, sometimes I would go into the clubs and be like, oh, I need to like deal with this and this.
Yeah,
When I go to work, basically it's weird to call it work, but when I go to work, I already feel that I'm at home,
yeah,
and I feel like I can just like express myself properly.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
No, I feel
You know,
that. I feel that. So what would you say your actual role is at the club?
that question is the weirdest thing ever.
It's weird, I know.
I don't know what to say. That's why I asked the origamist online. A girl actually messaged me the other day. She thought I was an actual master origamist because my Instagram says that. I'm like, oh yeah, I studied in Japan for a few years.
That's so good.
My role is basically, what would you say my role is? Vibe setter.
Say that again.
Vibe setter.
Yeah, I think for me, this sounds weird, but before I met you, and the same with Colomo, like, well, I'd met you, but I didn't really know you, if you know what I mean. And that was kind of in the like early Dirtybird days. The minute you guys would come into the booth, the minute you guys would kind of show face in the club, you just know it was like gonna be an amazing party. And it's kind of sounds weird to say that but it's almost like you bring everybody together, because in a DJ booth, in a club, like if you're just turning up and DJing, you don't know the sound guy, you don't know the security man, you don't know the people that are doing the drinks, the barmen and women. And when you come in, obviously us as the artists, we hang out with you guys and we have relationships and build relationships with you guys. When you come into the venue, like it's almost like that bridge between us and them. And I think you guys just like bring this like aura around you that just kind of like livens the party up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess we we connect everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes actually. Now that you say it, like I never really thought about that, but it's true. Like if you're up in a DJ booth, let's say you go to a party randomly, and even you as an artist, sometimes you're in booths and you don't know anybody. You
Exactly.
travel
Yeah.
and you're there, like the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
Like I wait for my turn to play, and then what do I do? So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
we just like we love to love, bro. That's basically it. That's how I feel.
I love
Like
it. This, this,
partying,
this, the,
partying helped me like get away from that dark mentality of having to leave my hometown
yeah.
and my like, I was an island boy for 15 years.
Yeah.
Then I got here without my family. It was weird. So that definitely helped me. And I guess that the way that Coloma welcomed me into the fraternity and the way we had all that bond in FIU and the
Yeah.
way that we connected with David and the rest of our team, I feel like you have to keep projecting that.
Yeah.
Keep helping people that don't have that feel like they have it and they actually do have it, because at the end of the day partying is like a way for you to escape your like
Reality.
your shadows and
Yeah.
reality and make your own reality, you know.
No, man,
So
I really like that, and I totally agree with you. And I think you kind of hit. It's weird that you say that. Obviously, like you've becoming from or coming to America from Dominican Republic and kind of leaving your family behind and things like that, and just like creating a new family with Colomo and everyone. You can really feel that. And there's only, I would say, space. Do you know Halcyon in San Francisco?
no, oh, Halcyon, yeah, but
Yeah.
I've never.
So
I know.
that's ran by like three girls, Ria, Gina, and Jojo, and it's almost that same vibe there, where it's almost like a bunch of people that found each other and then belong together. And that really shows in a venue. It really shows in everything else. And it's really nice that you say that, because I think in our industry, a lot of it is just number crunching and not actually about the party. It's about, okay, what headliner have we got in tonight? Let's see how many tickets we can sell. Where you guys, it just, obviously that is a part of it, and you have the business side of the industry. But when you come to Miami and you play Space or play Floyd or play Grand, it's like, we're just gonna have a party and have fun.
Yeah, you mentioned Floyd and Ground, and that's also like sometimes I actually enjoy myself more on a Friday at Floyd
Yeah,
because that much less of the responsibilities, and it's one room, and the 150 people that make it out there are just like a tight little
yeah,
rave. We're just like throwing down all night, you know.
I
So it's
yeah.
it's feel that way, and the Ground as well. The Ground, you know, we've had shows at the Ground, and some of them aren't slammed, but it's an incredible night, anyways.
Yeah, the Grand's amazing. But
Ground,
Floyd, I remember my first time playing at Floyd,
I
and
remember.
the decks turned some. There was too many people in the booth, and the decks got like the plug got like hit like 3 times in a row, and then we were like, "What the fuck is going on?" But then it was just like this amazing night. I think we did like 7-8 hours. It was just
Yeah,
like just a super nice vibe all night.
yeah, it's cool when you play at Floyd. It's a different energy in there.
Yeah, it's a vibe. We need to do that again when we can,
Yeah, we will. I think we will
hopefully.
next year.
Yeah, man. So outside of club life, um, I want to talk about Muay Thai because
Nice.
you train, and I used to train. I used to kickbox. Um,
Okay.
so I want to talk about it. How did you get into it?
Dude, I actually got into it because I met my trainer at Space.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He would go in the mornings, is this guy from Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
from New York, and he actually opened up another branch of his school in Brooklyn here in Miami.
Yeah.
First time ever expanding. It's called
Okay.
UMA.
Yeah.
So it's Miami Beach now. And he would come in the mornings, super, like very grounded human being,
Yeah.
but would love to party. And he's like from like the old school Oscar G days, like
Yeah.
crushing Oscar G every day at, at, at the school. He's putting like set after set. It's amazing. And we met one of the mornings at Space, and amazing guy. He's like, "Oh, I just opened a school here," and I'm like, "Dude, I've always wanted to get into martial arts.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do it, but I've never really had the, I don't know, like the chance, or none of my friends are really into it."
Yeah.
So I just said, "Screw it, I got to do something for myself."
Definitely.
And I joined last year when he opened, and now I've been going consecutively after the pandemic kind of like faded off.
Yeah.
Like gyms here, so I've been going, dude. I'm doing like 11 hours a week in there.
That's dedication.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, I bet. How's your shins?
Oh, fantastic. They're numb, they look like little rocks.
Have you like built up have you built up like the nerves in them or like ruined the nerves so much you can't feel anything?
Not yet. I feel like I got to do that Karate Kid move when they give him the tiny little palm tree until the palm tree falls. So what he's teaching me, he's teaching me Jeet Kune Do.
Okay.
JKD, which is Bruce Lee's philosophy.
Okay, so that's everything. Bit of everything.
It's basically everything. It's everything that Bruce Lee learned from all martial arts, and he combined his own philosophy. And it's cool because most of the movement has that Ali style.
Yeah.
Because he saw how Muhammad Ali was moving, and he's like, shit, nobody in this side of the martial arts, in the Cantonese martial arts world, does this.
Yeah.
So find everything together, and it's fun. It's insane to go train there. I love it.
Good fitness.
It's great. It's like sweating.
Shredded.
I have 3 shirts a day.
Yeah.
Oh, sombra.
Dog alert. We're allowed dogs on the podcast. It's fine.
They're not allowed, or they're allowed?
No, they're allowed, of course. What's his name? What's his name? Sombra.
Shadow in Spanish.
Okay.
She's my quarantine shadow.
So, man.
Yeah, so we do Jeet Kune Do, and then he also teaches us Kali and Eskrima with the sticks and the knife.
Yeah.
And then dirty boxing. We had this instructor. He started this boxing called Kong boxing.
Yeah.
It's like very dirty.
Just like
it's
elbows.
his style. And he came and he did a seminar back in February, 6-hour seminar in 2 days. We were exhausted.
Yeah,
and it's teaching do that dirty boxing movement. So we've been implementing that into the workouts, and it's wild.
So
we won't need boxing in a few years, bro. I got you.
Have you got Colomo there yet? Have you got Colomo training?
Colomo's like
He's what?
Colomo's like a double black belt from back in the days.
Is he?
Yeah, he used to train when he was young.
Oh, really?
He used to do jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Damn. Yeah, you don't need security now. It's just you lot. It's just you two.
Don't worry about it. That's one button for the bubbles and the other one for the...
Wait, is there a bubble machine at Space?
Yeah, dude. You haven't seen the bubbles?
No.
Come on, man.
Where's the bubble machine?
They come out of like the cryo area.
No, I've never seen the bubbles.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen them.
I got you. Record video next week. I'll turn the bubbles and send it your way.
Thanks, man. So
yeah, the more I don't know, after a few shots, I'm like, oh, let's press the bubbles, because the bubbles are controlled through an app.
Oh, so it's on your phone.
Phones, it's dangerous. It's like drunk texting with bubbles. Like, hey, you want to see the bubbles? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, bubbles.
Is that your chat up line to like any females in the club when you're just like, hey?
It's when I'm.
Say that.
That's all I
say that again.
when I'm very faded, I just go for the bubbles. I can't have a conversation. I'll give you bubbles. Sada Mezcal, natural wine, bubbles.
I'm disappointed that I've not actually seen the bubbles in space.
I feel like we're being terrible hosts now.
I think you
You
have.
see all that good stuff you were talking about us, back to zero.
Game over. Although you and Colombo took me to a very good Indian restaurant, and Indian restaurants are not, they're hard to find in America.
They are very hard to find in America. But San Fran has some good ones. Miami was very rough before that came along. The Indian restaurants were basically non-existent here.
Yeah.
Ghee was great.
What's it called?
That's the name of it. Ghee.
Ghee.
Like clarified butter.
Yeah, clarified butter. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, it's a family-run business. It's an Indian family based in Miami, and they have a farm down in Homestead, which is like 45 minutes away from the center. And their farm is just all the spices that you cannot get in the US.
Yeah, it was good. Apart from the fact that I drove 45 minutes to the wrong one.
Okay, so we went to the one out west. That's true. I forgot about it. We're like, yo, what the?
I was with my friend Macy, and we were just like, damn, this restaurant's far away. It better be good. And then we got there, and I was like, boys, where are you? And they were like, we're here. And I was like, you're definitely not. And they were like, oh, you've gone to the wrong one.
It was our bad. We forget that there's two.
Yeah.
And that's how you went to the original. You should have just stayed there.
Just eat.
Be like, yeah, I'll see you guys.
See you at the club later. So, coronavirus has obviously fucked you as much as it's fucked everyone else. Is there any like plans, or is there anything you guys are doing as a club that kind of people can kind of keep involved with, like the community of space?
Well, I don't know how it is for you guys, but here in Miami, the mayor has no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Every day he's more lost than us, the civilians. Every day something changes in his plans of action. So we were supposed to open, we were going to do like small private parties, just like rent out the club as a little private birthday. We were going to do that by the end of July. That didn't happen because clubbing is phase 4 in Florida. We're still in phase 1, by the way. We're supposed to be way advanced, but then they decided to open restaurants, indoor dining a month and a half ago, which makes no sense. All the restaurants here, it's like zero ventilation.
Yeah.
So stick everybody inside a restaurant and see how it goes. The numbers spiked up. We were at 3,000 new cases a day, probably like mid-June, 3,000 to 5,000. And then we spiked to 15,000 new cases daily.
Florida went in. That's insane.
Florida. Yeah. So July, which we had like an idea of like reopening, maybe like doing more outdoor seating. We're going to take off the roof at space is just a plastic awning.
Yeah.
You rip all that off, it's outdoors.
Yeah.
So we were planning that in August, and that didn't work out. We were still at like 12 to 11,000 new cases daily. It's crazy.
Jesus.
And and the thing is that you don't even have to look at that. It's New York at that same time. New York and Florida have basically the same population.
Yeah.
New York State is 20 million and Florida is 19 million. Okay. And they were getting 100 new cases a day while we were doing 12,000.
Florida, baby. It's Florida for you.
Every time Florida beats New York.
Let's be honest though, Florida should be like another country. It's like it's not really America.
Florida's North Cuba.
Pretty much. It is, isn't it? It is. You kind of have to speak Spanish to like.
That's just South Florida. South Florida and Florida should be different.
Yeah.
South Florida is Cuba, and North Florida is basically the South. It's Georgia.
It's just,
It's
just
just like
yeah.
North Florida to Georgia and Alabama, because it's that same, and then South Florida just added on to Cuba. We're good.
Pretty much.
That's basically it.
So are your family still in Dominican or are they here?
My mother lives here and my
Yeah.
sister.
Okay,
We
cool.
moved. My entire family is in Dominican Republic.
Do you ever go
My
back?
dad, my grandparents.
Yeah. Do you ever go
all my-
back?
Yeah, I go almost every year.
What's it like over there? I've
Gotta
never
visit
been.
them. It's great, man. It's very chilled out. Everybody's super friendly. Nobody likes to work. Everybody's always on vacation. Everybody's always cooking. You will love it, dude.
Yeah,
Trust
man.
me.
That's
I can't believe
amazing.
you've never been.
No,
Never
never.
been to Domingo or like the festivals they throw in Punta Cana.
No, never. Never. I'd love to go.
It's cool. Yeah. Tons of waterfalls, beautiful beaches,
Yeah.
really cool mountains.
Beautiful people like yourself.
People are amazing there.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can feel a little bit of the island at space,
Yeah.
because like once you go to DR, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because when tourists travel to DR, they're like, wow, I felt like I was at home. Like they'll just tell me like, oh, this lady just grabbed us and took us to her house and she fed us without knowing us. Like that's DR for you, man. It's amazing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. We don't really have that in America or the UK. It's weird, isn't it? I wonder why we don't have that.
Even in the UK,
No,
maybe
not really.
like not in like the town, maybe in the towns.
Nah, man.
No,
No.
This-
People just keep themselves in the country, like where I live, like people are generally it's a lot more chill, like you know everyone, if you know what I mean. So like I'll go down into the village and you know everyone. But I think it's just bigger cities. People don't even know their next door neighbor, which is kind of sad.
yeah, it is. In Miami, I've always felt that way. My mother has lived in the same house for 16 years,
Yeah.
and the neighbors still don't even like look
Yeah.
that way. Crazy. It makes no sense.
Do you think
In
do you think
Dominican Republic, every neighbor each other, even in the big city, and even in the big city, still feels like a town.
what is that
And the
about?
city's very dense. I think it's culture, man. I think it's I don't know. It has to be culture. At the end of the day, Dominicans have, when you go into a third world country like that, it's nothing begun as a big city, as a dense city.
Yeah.
Everything was towns. And that culture of that town vibe created a big city, but it's
Yeah.
still stuck, you know? It's stuck and like, hey, let me go take my neighbor this leftover rice that I cooked.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me go help them like do something or this and that, or just take care of the kids.
Yeah.
In America, nobody would ever leave a kid with a neighbor. It's like, what?
Not in a city. Definitely not in a city.
Not in a city. In a
Yeah.
big city, never. That wouldn't happen. You know what struck me? I went to Brooklyn last month. We went for like 2 weeks just to get away because Miami was being like it was crazy here.
Yeah.
So I went to Brooklyn just to like hang out for a bit. And we stayed in a Dominican neighborhood.
Which
And
area?
It was South Williamsburg.
Yeah.
South Williamsburg, super Dominican.
It's cool, right?
You're staying right next to a little bodega,
Yeah.
like the little corner shops. They were blasting music
Yeah.
every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 p.m., midnight, no matter what. It was
Yeah.
space after. But with bachata and reggaeton.
So you do get that in New York. Like in like Dominican areas, Jamaican areas, like in a lot of Hispanic areas, you like in the summer, like people were taking the fire hydrants out and like water's going everywhere, kids in the street, music playing, barbecues on the street and things like that. It's just, you do get communities. You get very small communities in certain areas of New York, which I absolutely love.
that shocked me that you said the fire hydrants. I had never seen that. Because whenever I would go to New York, it was like 2, 3 days in the city, like
Yeah.
deep in the city. You see that? Being in Brooklyn for 2 weeks, I was like, the first day we're like, what's up with the fire hydrants? Why are they just blasting out? I thought they were broken. I thought they were broken.
No, they do it on purpose.
We open that shit
Yeah.
and they're like, car wash time.
Yeah.
The kids are gonna pay. The grandma's gonna like take down like her hair and lower the heat because
Yeah.
she's like going through heavy menopause and it's like 95 degrees in summer. Dude, it's a full-on activation, these fire hydrants.
Yeah, that's what I miss about New York.
Yeah.
New York has this special community vibe. Like, not so much Manhattan, but Brooklyn and Queens. You have this like community where everyone you have like. There's a lot of money in New York, but there's a lot of people that also are struggling, and they're just like working hard and hustling to pay that rent. And I feel like for me, like I get that feeling like when you turn up in New York and you're like, this is like people are hustling, and I think that brings a community to the city, if that makes sense. It brings a vibe.
But it's crazy because then I felt the sense of community that you speak of when we were there in South Williamsburg. First day, I go walk the dog. We took the dogs and everything. Yeah. 3 dogs in an Airbnb.
Damn.
Three humans. It was a mess. Right. But I walked the dog, and you see in Brooklyn they have like the little steps right before the buildings.
Yeah.
And it was like blast from the early 90s vibe.
Yeah.
The families are sitting out there. All the kids from the neighborhood are playing together. Someone's cranking music in the subwoofer of the backseat of their car.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. And like you felt that everybody was really, really connected with each other.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, you do get that. It's something beautiful that you don't really get in many cities. When I'm back at my place in Detroit, you get it a little bit there.
Do, huh?
Yeah, near on my street, there's like a barbershop, and G from the barbershop, he every Friday during the summer he like rolls out a barbecue and barbecues, and like the whole neighborhood just like comes out and just like chills during the day, which is like really nice to see. But then obviously winter hits and everyone fucking stays inside and doesn't leave the house. But
yeah, it's very different.
Yeah,
what are your plans? Winter. What are your winter plans?
Dude,
bunker down.
It's September, and I really don't know. I really don't know what I'm in this like. Obviously, clubs aren't going to be happening. Festivals definitely aren't going to be happening. Nothing, man. Nothing. Our prime minister has just reduced gatherings to 6 people again. Yeah, so it's not good. But I think I really am missing traveling now. I'm at the point where I'm like, I had a nice time having time off. It was like the longest I've been back and the longest I've spent with my family in like 6 years, which has been like beautiful. It's been so nice to be able to like do that. But now I'm just like, okay, it would be really nice to go traveling, but we can't. So it's kind of like just hunkering down, writing as much music as possible, and just seeing where we need a vaccine, man. We need a vaccine.
We need a vaccine.
I actually just listened. Do you know the electric dance group called Faithless?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. I was just literally reading. They're like my idols from back in the day. They've just done a what's it called? An interview with the BBC, and they were just like, Sister Bliss from it was just saying like how much the dance music industry has literally just been like left to like rot in the corner. Although there's a lot of other industries that have kind of been screwed over, but in the UK, pretty much everything is back open. So everyone's back at school. gyms are open, restaurants are open, bars and pubs are open, and then
Bar.
yeah, but bars are like you're not
You
allowed to
walk into a beer at the bar.
say that again.
You just walk into a pub and have a beer at the bar.
Yeah, yeah, you can now. But gatherings, so like you're allowed to go to the pub or the bar with like 5 of your friends, but anything over 6, you're not allowed.
Which doesn't make sense because the
There's
less people connected to you going, the more randoms are gonna be there, and it's still just gonna be the mess.
dude, it just makes like I'll be honest, I think a lot of people are going to kind of argue with me, and it's kind of controversial, but I'm not political at all. I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. But in the UK, I actually think they've done a pretty good job. However, now it's just getting to the point where they need to help. They need to help. It's the people that are like starting out in their careers in music, and like the barmen, the barwomen, like everybody that works behind the scenes in the venues and stuff like that. Like you guys are in the same situation where you're just like, this can't go on forever. Like at this moment in time in the UK, there was we had 30 deaths yesterday compared to when we were at like 700 a day. Now we're at 30. Like more people are dying from like car crashes, and they're just not. It just doesn't make sense. But maybe they know more than what I know. They definitely know more than what I know.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes no sense.
No.
They just reopened indoor dining here in South Florida as well, and it doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense for you to be able to be in an air-conditioned, circulating, small venue with random people.
Yeah. And
Makes
not open clubs.
And not open. Yeah, like you can have an outdoor club and have it socially distant. You can do different pods and not have an actual dance floor, but you can have separate areas for separate groups.
Yeah.
You can find a way to like
they
everybody together.
They have started doing that. They have started doing that.
They're starting to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, in the UK they're starting to do that.
That's hopefully our goal for this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we were able to do that, but it's not looking too bright for that.
Well, if it happens, let me know. I'm just coming to play. I don't even want to get paid. I'm just coming to play. I want to see the bubble machine.
Bubbles are going to be super blasted. It's all the bubbles of summer. A gallon lasts like half an hour only.
Oh, really?
A gallon of liquid soap, if you leave it pressed and you just forget about it and you go do your own thing, you're like, oh shit, half an hour went by, no more bubbles.
Damn, that's wild. That is a lot. That's a lot. But yeah, I don't. My plans for winter is just like staying here really until I'm told anything different.
At least.
Say that again.
Right. You're in your hometown?
Yeah. I'm back home, which is nice. I might have to go to Detroit for like a week just to like. I haven't been there for nearly 7 months now.
And your place over there is just.
Yeah, so I rent a room out to a couple, techno producer called Un. You should check him out. It's like very hard techno. It's UUN. Yeah, check him out. It's unreal. So he lives there, which is great. To be fair, him and his girlfriend live there as well, which is kind of perfect. But I had a show in Phoenix. I was playing in Phoenix, and then my manager Ryan messaged me and was like, "Dude, Trump's closing the borders down. You better get on a flight to the UK if you want to be in the UK." So I literally left from Phoenix the day after my show. I literally had like 2 T-shirts in my suitcase. My car was at Detroit Airport. Like I just got the fuck out.
Yeah, that would be crazy. So many people have been stuck.
Yeah.
In random places. People were stuck after that festival in the SXM festival.
Where was that?
I always forget the island's name. St. Bart's? Is it St. Bart's?
Okay, yeah,
One of those. I don't think it's St. Bart's, but it's one of those like Eastern Caribbean islands.
yeah.
And a lot of people were stuck out there. People from the UK were stuck. People from Miami weren't allowed to come back for a month. Uh, the islanders started like looting places and stealing.
Really
Yeah, like my friends were out there, they were freaking out. But every
wild.
SXM came back COVID positive. So like by mid-April, they all had antibodies and everything. Yeah, it's been a soup fest over here.
It's crazy. It is a wild time. I tell you what, we're never going to be able to forget this.
He has antibodies. Everybody's gotten it already.
Yeah, but we don't know if you can catch it again.
That's the problem. There are cases
Yeah.
of vaccine again, but we're not gonna get into that because we're no experts.
Yeah, but we like to think we are.
We like to, we're like, I have the antibodies for 3 months. I'm good. Maybe I'll catch it in 4 months.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that people that have the antibodies actually probably still have it and they don't know.
That people feel invincible. It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's why they're doing all these illegal parties and going all crazy. I'm like, dude,
Chill.
you have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah. In fact, one of my friends that I know that lives in Miami, she messaged me like 2 months ago and was like, "Oh, I've got the antibodies, so I'm just going out partying." And I'm like, that's not logical. It's gonna slow everything down for everybody else.
The illegal party situation's a mess here.
Yeah, I bet.
On every day.
Yeah.
People are not even waiting for the weekends. So it's like, why are you having these like illegal parties that nobody's taking any precautions and not just allow actual businesses to find a way to work around the pandemic and protect everybody as they go?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's that responsibility. Like we
it's like Lord of the Flies shit, right?
It is, man. It really is, because it's like, it's just selfish at the end of the day. It's just people thinking about what they want to get out of life and what they want to do today, rather than think about the long term as like, oh, if I go to a party and I have it and then I pass it on to somebody else and they live with their gran and then their gran gets it and then their gran dies. Like, that's the bigger picture at the end of the day.
It is. It's and a lot of people don't understand that, because in big cities too, that's why you see all these illegal parties in the big cities.
Yeah.
A lot of big cities have recently moved there or have left their families to move there.
Yeah.
So they're not thinking about
anybody else. No.
Living door. They're just like, oh, I'm here. I don't know anybody here. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's the truth. It's what's happening.
What's your thoughts on the whole live stream thing?
For what?
On just general, all the live streams that's going on.
I just think at some point I was actually watching many of them, and then there's so many live streams going on. It's like we got live streams for like 2 lifetimes. There's so many live streams between all the DJs in the world and all the people that are trying to do live streams, that we just have like unlimited amount of recorded music and sets forever.
It's like porn now. Like the amount of live streams is like porn.
Like when you go, it's like 25 page plus, and then you got.
We should start a website called DJ Hub, and it's just like Pornhub, but all the live sets go on there.
Yeah, just grab all the fucking DJ sets you can find.
Yeah.
Also, just start by ourselves. We have 24 yoga episodes.
Yoga.
From yoga, space yoga.
So let's talk about that, because you guys have always done yoga. Is it on a Sunday morning?
Saturday afternoon. 20 p.m. So space yoga, high yoga.
Do you do it?
Space yoga?
Yeah.
I play the music there, bro.
Are you the DJ?
I'm the DJ, baby.
One of my friends, Nicorella, she goes all the time to the space yoga, or used to.
Well, used to. The space yoga, we started exactly when we took on space.
Yeah.
It's our way to give back to the community. So it's a free complimentary yoga, which you don't get much of that in Miami.
No, man, you don't.
20-30 bucks a pop.
Yeah.
So we do complimentary yoga every Saturday. The entire community is welcome. First come, first serve. So there was a point that we would get like 25 to 50 people first
Damn.
year. Second year it grew to like 100. And then this year we were actually having to open the loft and the VIP. And I would have, while I'm playing music, I would see people come up behind the DJ booth and just set up their yoga mats behind me. I'm like, what happened? And they're like, there's no space available. There's no space at space. I counted the last yoga before shutdown. We had 245 people.
Dude, that's amazing. And it's all free.
Yoga together at space, under the trees. No bubbles though, because then they fall.
Costs too much money.
Sorry, it's a free class. But yeah, the yogas were beautiful. You know, like I just look into. It's funny because when I look for music for that, it's like stuff like very soulful.
Yeah.
It's like 5 BPMs. And I'll play a lot of Latin music.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Latin tribal stuff. It gets people going. And then I'll just find like some weird ass like vocals that sends people through meditation at the end. You should check it out one day. We have them all
dude,
up.
I'd love to.
Episodes since mid-March. Well, no, we kept doing the yogas like mid-April.
Yeah.
You know, mid-March, everything closed. Nobody wanted to even pop their head out of their house.
Didn't. Yeah.
But we've been very careful with that. It's just myself, the instructor, and 2 people that do the demos, so you can see what's actually going on.
Yeah. How do people watch that?
It's kept me sane on YouTube. They go to the Club Space official YouTube channel, and we have all our live streams, all our DJ sets there, and we have all the yogas. And we also have this thing called Intergalactic Booty Camp.
What's this?
It's called Intergalactic Booty Camp. So it's like
this sounds like heaven.
It's like a workout, like a fitness class every Wednesday. It's a fitness class for your abs, your glutes, your legs. So it's 45 minutes of intense workout.
That's amazing.
You might walk the next day. I was so like 3 days the first time I did those things.
Who does who does it?
Her name's Baby Mama Fit.
Oh, I've seen her on your Instagram.
She's in the UK now.
Pardon?
She moved to the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we have like 10 episodes of those online.
That's
if you
so
want to get that on, bro.
I might video myself doing one. Send it to you.
Review video on YouTube.
Yeah.
This was my experience with Intergalactic Booty Camp at Space.
Oh yeah, definitely. So how is everybody? How is all Colomo?
You guys are good.
Everyone good?
You know, Davide every day at the office. You know, that man doesn't stop. He's already planning 2021.
Hustling.
Cool stuff coming up. We're just doing a lot of merchandising as well on the Club Space website, just to stay alive.
Yeah,
I guess.
Go buy it, people. Go buy it.
Bringing clothes to keep the lights on, and that's basically. And just like different ideas, we have. We started implementing a scholarship, so we want to give other ways of giving back to the community. We're starting a space scholarship.
What does that entail?
It's basically we're gonna start like a GoFundMe account.
Okay.
And we're gonna put money into it and then spread the word, and whoever wants to donate can donate. And the larger this scholarship is, the more kids are gonna be able to go to college.
Oh, dope! So it's for college to fund people.
Scholarship, but it's for college for whatever they're into. There's gonna be an application form online as well. We're gonna just come out with that when there's like better timing for it.
Yeah.
Right now, nobody's like really like looking to donating into other things. It's like everybody's rough right now.
Yeah.
But it'll happen, and we already started it, so it's online. It's online. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, that's amazing.
and we're just gonna. It all depends on merit and need, merit and need, and that's it.
That's
So we're
dope.
gonna.
I really do love what you guys do for the community itself. It's beautiful, man. And I think the reason why the club is so good is because of that. It kind of just comes out in everything. It comes out in you guys. It comes out in the parties. It comes out in the people that go to the club. It comes out in people talking about the club and just kind of the general vibe of it. I absolutely love it, man. I love it. Keep it up.
We love having you here, bro. It's always fun. We always have good times out here.
Always, man. Always. Right, dude. Let's wrap that one up. It's been really good to catch up. It's been fucking ages, and I can't wait to be back.
You're still cooking or what? You should be cooking more than ever.
I'm cooking loads, man. I'm cooking loads.
So,
Yeah, I actually went away. There's a hotel called Lucaz on the Weir, which is like an hour from mine. It's like a super small boutique hotel. The guy that owns it invited me over to like learn how to cook with him. He's like he's not Michelin star, but it's practically Michelin star food. It's fucking amazing. So I went and spent a week with him learning there, and it was just like it was nice to get away from the whole music industry for like a week and just my phone. I was too busy like in the kitchen, so like you take no like there's no like distractions of like coronavirus or anything like that. It's just like straight up just cooking, and that's been amazing. But yeah, man,
yeah,
cooking every night.
A cooking. What is it, like a cook battle?
Do it.
When you,
I'm
we're
down.
doing a little cooking show. So
What I do is we do a party and then I'll stay the next night, and then we can do something the next night.
full on cooking.
Yeah,
And we can.
sounds good.
It'll be the next experience on your show.
I keep on getting asked to do like a cooking show, but
Everybody else, they're
yeah,
always do a cooking show. Why don't you do a vlog?
yeah,
I'm like, if I turn it into work, like if I turn like my food thing into work, I feel like I'll like despise it.
exactly,
You know?
exactly.
Chefs go to, they cook, and when they get home, all they just make themselves a sandwich.
Yeah, they eat
and they're
shit.
Like, they
Yeah.
eat like shit.
Yeah,
I enjoy my eating habits, and I enjoy cooking as a pleasure. If I put like, if I turn it into a blog, I'm gonna be like, nah.
dude, I agree. I have like my food Instagram, which I just like post pictures,
It's fun.
but that's it. And I think you're 100% right. I have this thing where I like to make a business out of everything I do, but it's really, really not healthy because you turn your whole life into work. And then when you get to doing something, you're like, why am I doing this? Like I have nothing to like relax to.
And for me, food is special, and I feel like I never, like when I cook, I feel like it's still not at par for me to like show it off as a venture, you know?
Totally.
Like I'm gonna be telling people what to do. Like I'm learning as I go. You know? I learn every day something new in the kitchen. But hope maybe one day, you know, something happens.
Would you ever do a restaurant? Would you not? Yeah. Would you ever have a restaurant?
I would love to have a restaurant.
Yeah. Would you want to cook in it though?
What?
Would you want to cook?
Wouldn't.
No.
I'll leave that to the pros.
Yeah. Same.
Unofficial chef.
I'm the same. I would.
For my homies. That's it.
Yeah. I would just want an amazing restaurant.
Yeah, I would love a restaurant, little bar.
What food would you have?
For me, I would always go back to my roots, Spanish food, like from Spain.
Yeah.
My grandmother's from there. And when I was raised, we were just raised on amazing tapas and all these crazy mixtures of like the Lebanese part of my family and the Spanish part.
Yeah.
So I think I build those fusions together.
Oh, that's a good mixture.
You'll notice.
Say that again.
You go to Dominican Republic, you'll notice.
Okay.
Street food is like Lebanese and Spanish because it has all these, all these conquerors and like all the Lebanese people that came back in the days and all the Spaniards are there. So you see all this food mixed in with the Latino island flavor, and it goes great. It goes amazing.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, no, I
It'll be some sort of like weird ass fusion. They're gonna be like, this guy's drunk and high. Who did this man here?
dude, no one listens to this anyway. It's just for a bunch of fun. It's just for good fun. Yeah, man. I actually talking about cooking. That
Like
there's
Indians.
a restaurant called Dishoom in London,
Huh?
which is it's like a Indian restaurant, really good Indian restaurant from Bombay, I believe. Um, they do a cookbook, and I've just got the ingredient. I've just got the cookbook, and the other day I cooked there. They have like a black dal, which is made from vagamungo beans. Takes like it took me 4.5, 5 hours to make this dal. It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
But I thought, isn't the regular dal with like spinach and stuff, or no?
Dal is usually lentils.
Lentils.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's dal is like sag dal, which is potato and spinach.
Yeah.
No,
That's what I've.
that's Bombay potato. Sagaloo, oh mate, sagaloo is potato. Dal is usually lentils or some sort of beans like chickpeas or something like that.
Damn.
But
Took
yeah,
you 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
Like staring.
Yeah, pretty much. So you're like you have to wash the beans, and then you have to cook the beans, and then you have to cook the spices in with the beans, and then like you have to cook it for so long that it all is like marinated. It's unreal though.
Have to be fired.
I'll send you the recipe.
Yeah, please do.
I'll
I'll try.
I'll try it.
Cooking a lot of stuff like that, like heavy brothy things, like
Yeah.
beans, and I'll cook like some like red rice that I found from Thailand. I found it at an Asian market here.
Yeah.
So I'll just cook that, maybe with like some Chinese eggplants, and I mix it all up together, and I have food for the week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best thing, isn't it?
Like mash of food
Yeah.
that I kept on my Instagram because it's a mess.
Yeah. I also from when I went away, I got the chef was like, you have to buy this cookbook, and it's called The Food Consortium at Home. So what it is, I think he was from Yale, this like scientist from Yale, and he stopped being a scientist and wanted to make a cookbook that's like the science of cookbook. It's unbelievable, but
Guys, like,
yeah, and the recipe, like on a lot of cookbooks, like the recipes aren't that tight. Like it,
I always change them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone through a recipe that I've left.
exactly. Where this is like precision. This is precision. This is like everything's done correctly, and they show you like, I don't know how they've done it, but they've actually like they've cut pieces of meat in half, like so you can see the cooking process and see what it looks like inside, and they've done like
And they align it like that.
yeah, it's unreal what they've done. But
I'm
it's
gonna have to pop out my quarter teaspoons.
it's like that. It is like that. Yeah.
Mix it in a beaker.
Yeah. And put it in and get your pipettes and your tweezers out.
Oh, but yeah, send me that, bro.
Yeah, I'll
That'd be
I'll send you some links, man. Send you
Gotta
some
do it
links. Right, man. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. It's really good to catch up.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man.
Take it easy.
Keep safe.
Yeah.
See you, Shadow. Love you, dude. I'll catch you soon, all right? Keep safe. So that's a wrap. I'm really sorry about the internet. It's really annoying having to do these Zooms rather than being in person. However, it was good fun. I loved it. I love catching up with that guy. He's one of the nicest guys in the scene. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it, and I'll see you very soon. Big love.